All right, y'all. Before we get into the video, I'm gonna give y'all a little intro, show y'all my top single for bench press. It was 285 at 2:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna show y'all how I worked up to that today. But what I'm gonna say is this: I bench pressed and I deadlifted, and went kind of heavy on deadlift. None of this is maxes because I don't have a spotter. So this little distraction. Watch my headphones. They gonna fall off my head. Bam. That kind of made me almost not want to do the lift. Yes, that matters. Every little thing matters when you're going heavier, right? So that made it a little bit harder than it should have, right? So the focus, man, the focus. You gotta stay dialed in, all right? So I still did it. And it should have been easier than that because I wanted to do like 290 something or either 300 today. And then I was going to drop down to 225 and do another video, but I didn't do that. But there's 225. That's what that looks like. And then I'm going to show y'all me loading up my deadlift. But I'm going to tell y'all the commentary in this video is from a couple days ago. So the date that I said it was, or whatever it was I said, this is like Monday morning, right? Today, the actual day. So this was like a couple days ago. But all this footage is from today, right? So yeah. So this is 495 on deadlift. And let's go ahead and start off with the bench press and y'all can see the whole workout. Like the video, hit the hype button, and let's get into it. Alright, y'all, I'm on my way to the gym. And I just wanted to chime in so I can tell y'all what's the plan before I even go. So if it go right, if it go wrong, I just tell y'all what I'm going for. I want to squat and bench press, all right? I know I've been bench pressing almost every day, but it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. It's about to be my third day off, my vacation. Well, I had the weekend off anyways, but I'm taking Monday and Tuesday off and I already had Wednesday and Thursday off, and I'm taking Friday off. So from Friday to Friday. So that's 7 days, but 8 days, something like that. I honestly don't know. You count it how you count it, you know what I'm saying? I got off work Thursday night. So Thursday night was off. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I counted on my fingers before and it was 8 days. So I want to bench press and I'm not decided on whether I want to do 225. No, matter of fact, I'm doing that. Every time I go to the gym, I'm doing 225 for as much reps as I possibly can comfortably do without a spotter, all right? And also keep form. I could squeeze another 2, 3 to 5 reps out if I just do like everybody else do, butt coming off the bench and forced reps, all right? Bad reps. I could do another 5 reps. Last time I got 12. Well, the time before last time I got 12. Last time I got like 9 or 10. So it's going to go up and down, but I'm trying to get that top number up. So I'm trying to get 15 reps on bench press with 225 before my vacation is over. That's the goal. At a body weight of 175. Between 175 and 176. I might even get up to 177. It is what it is. But yes, every pound counts when you're really trying to, dial in the way I'm trying to dial in, right? So, everybody, it doesn't matter. We're not doing the same thing, all right? So, it does matter for me. It might not matter for you. You think it don't matter, but it does. So, squat. I want to, I lost my squat because I wasn't squatting. That was my fault. So, what I've been doing was, I did a 100-day challenge a couple weeks ago. I did a 100-day challenge, made it to 96, 97 days, something like that, and didn't do the whole 100, but still I made great progress. On day 1, I was only able to squat 185, which is horrible for me. And somewhere within the 80th or 90th day, somewhere up in there, I did 325, I think. 3 something, early to mid 3s, right? So, and that's with being fatigued after squatting that many days in a row before then, right? So, I made great progress on my squat from 1 something, late 100 something, to early to mid 300 something, right? So my goal is to get at least 3 something on squat, right? My goal before the end of the year is to be back to 400 or something on squat. I'm not in a rush, but within these 8 days, I don't know which days I'm gonna be good and which days I'm not. Within these 8 days, I want to hit a PR. PR means personal records, but not my all-time personal record when I was at my best, but my personal record for now. So my personal record for bench press right now is 280. Might not sound like a lot to some, might sound like a lot to some. But, you know, my body weight is 175. That's over 100 and some pounds over my body weight, for one. For two, I really feel like I could do 300 and something pounds, and I don't use a spotter. And I want to make sure the rep actually counts, but stays on the bench. No cheat reps, no really grinding. I want it to be pretty much easy. So it's not even if it's an easy rep, that's not a max. See, a lot of people misconstrue a top heavy single. They misunderstand the difference between singles and maxing. Maxing means your ultimate, how much you can lift for one rep or even for reps, right? So when I'm doing 225, I'm actually pretty much closer to maxing than I am when I'm doing singles, if that makes any sense. The maximum amount that you can output, that's what maxing is, all right? Whether it's repping maxes or single maxes. So most of the time you see people do single maxes. I say matches. Single maxes, right? So when somebody see people do one rep, no matter how easy the rep is, if it's one rep, that was your max. If it cut through like butter, then that was not that person's max. I'm not gonna get into that though. You know, so I'm not going for any maxes because that's not how you really train, is to train your maxes all the time. Now, training singles and training maxes is two different things. If training singles, a lot of people want to stay away from training singles because they're I'm not editing none of that out. I'm human. Not editing none of that out because I'm still fucking up. People want to get away from training singles because they scared to fry their CNS, their central nervous system, because they think they're maxing. I heard you should be maxing all the time. All right, you shouldn't be maxing all the time. That's exactly right. But there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes you got to test. Speaking on maxing all the time and time and a place for maxing and things I max on more often than others. Deadlifts, all right? Now, squat, bench, deadlift, SBD, all right? So this might turn into an SBD day. I don't know. I did deadlift yesterday, and I bench pressed yesterday, and I squatted yesterday. My squat sucked because too many people, this and that and third. My deadlift also sucked, but I did do some decent weight. I did 525 pounds, which is close to my max. But under the circumstances, it was the most horrible 525 I've probably ever lifted, all right? Even when I first got to that weight, probably worse than that. You know, when you first get to a certain weight, it's not going to look if somebody's max is 525, right, which that's not my max, it's close, right? That deadlift is going to look a lot different than when they're warming up with 135, 225, and all the other lifts they do in between. When you do your maximum lift and you're nowhere near your max or your sub max or somewhere halfway through, right? You know, you got to understand you got a lot more weight on the bar, right? So what happened was I picked it up, dropped it out of my hands. It was a horrible lift. It didn't feel good on the way up. That was my last deadlift of yesterday, right? I'm going in there way after hours where the gym is empty. Best time for me to lift is time where you can focus. You can focus on your cues and everything. You ain't got as much distractions. You ain't got people literally trying to block your shot, trying to get you injured, all right? Horse playing and all that bullshit. People be like, I don't understand the difference. Of course you don't understand the difference. You don't live. We're not going to get into that because that could turn into a whole rant, right? But what I'm saying is if I do deadlift, I never go for high reps on deadlift. It's just not a high rep movement for me. Now, nothing wrong with that if that's how you see it. I'm not saying the way I do it is right or wrong, and I'm not saying the way you do it is right or wrong. The problem is people that be saying my way is wrong be people who don't even lift. We're not going to get into that either because that could be a whole nother video. I've made that video too many times, right? This isn't that. That ain't this and this ain't that. So my goal is if I do deadlift, is to at least get 450. I'm not really, if 5 something is there, when I deadlift, I usually try to get 5 plates on each side at least. That's 495. But if I don't feel like doing that, if I get at least 455, I'm satisfied. Even if I don't even feel like if I get less than 455, it's because I chose not to. You know what I'm saying? I would never fail at 455 or lower than that. Never. 495 on a horrible day, I could fail that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't know. It used to be hit and miss. That's how I know I'm getting stronger. I pretty much don't think I'm gonna ever fail 495 again unless I just lose my deadlift. If I take a long layoff from any lift, you take a long layoff, you will lose it. You use it or lose it when it comes to lifting weights, all right? You don't get to a certain amount of weight and then it's locked in. Yeah, pretty much if you keep lifting. You know what I'm saying? But not even then, I mean, when you bench pressing, right? Let's say I get back to my 365 bench or a 3-something bench. If I lose 50 pounds off my body, it's going to be very, 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 very hard, damn near impossible for me to do the same amount of weight. See what I'm saying? So it ain't 100% locked in. There's variables that'll happen. You know, you get injured or you're fatigued or whatever. So bringing that back to what I'm doing with this days off thing. And the title of this video, I think, is going to be something about should you lift the same lift every day, or why do I bench press every day? Do I SBD every day? Squat, bench, deadlift something along those lines. Should you train the same muscle every day? And you got to think about it, all right? I work a 12.5-hour shift. I got 2 kids. We went to the zoo earlier, but I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, like, I got 2 kids and a woman. I got a lot of things on my plate. So compare that me to the me when I'm taking off. Now, I'm still doing those things, but if I'm taking off of work, which is 12.5-hour swing shift, very hard to get 8 hours or more of sleep a day. Matter of fact, the people that's listening to this video this far, most likely you got occupations. It's very hard. I guarantee you, for the most majority of Americans, 75% of Americans don't get 8 hours of sleep every day. And if you work a 12.5-hour shifts, and you working out and doing other things, a lot of times you go get 4 or 5 hours of sleep every day between shifts. So the difference between me and them is, like, the average person is, on my days off, I call it hibernate. I make up for all my sleep. And I know a lot of people not doing that, because every time I speak on it, people, I don't understand that. Dude, hibernate. Literally, I take care of my sleep like a lion. Animals understand this. A lion in the jungle, not in the jungle, but still, like, you know, a lion in the wild. They don't live in the jungle. Tigers do. I don't know why they're king of the jungle. Don't make no sense. But because tigers don't got no pride to take care of. Who they the king of? The jungle. They ain't say king of the pride. They say king of the jungle, right? So this dude living in the, we ain't gonna get into that. But a lot of people think that the male lion is lazy, and the female lion, the lioness, is the woman. They go out and they hunt and this and that and the third. Dog, it's called place. That dude ain't lazy. See, even animal understand this, and people who watch animal stuff understand this. That lion need that rest. If I'm that lion, I need that rest, right? What does the lion do? He don't help hunt. Why you need rest? Little do people know, lions do. The male lion do help hunt. He just don't go on the daily hunting thing that the female lions go and do. But if they fighting something that's way too big for the females, or if they're close enough to the house, they don't got houses, but they're close enough to the territory, he's going to jump in. He's going to take that thing down, right? He's just not going out on daily patrol for it. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He's not built for that. The lioness is more built for that. She's more streamlined. She's lighter. She can run longer. She's more equipped for that. They are technicians at that. You know what I'm saying? The male lion, what does he do? When female lions and hyenas, they beef with hyenas, right? Lions and hyenas, right? Everybody knows. They tell all the time, right? So when the female lions are beefing with the hyenas, if the numbers are evenly matched, then of course the female lions got the advantage. But hyenas usually way outnumber lion prides. Way outnumber lion prides. So when the numbers are in the hyena's favor, when they usually is, the females lose, right? And losing it might be the ultimate loss, right? So what the male lion does, he come and clear that pack out. easily. So his rest is helping him stay big and strong. He's majestic. His testosterone is high. He don't be working out though. It's different. They're naturally that big, and they gotta eat to do that, right? So when the food come, the female lions are like Uber Eats. Bring them that food, and they get the leftovers. The kids get the very leftovers, right? They don't need much. They babies. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important for that man to eat and sleep. Hibernation. See me? Hibernation and PlayStation. Get my mind right. You know what I'm saying? So should I train the same thing every day? I don't train the same thing. I've been very meticulously doing the same thing almost every day, but it's like, so the other things are getting neglected sometimes, my curls, my pull-ups, and this and the third. But before I was bringing my squat and bench and deadlift back, I was doing more of those things. So I got to sprinkle those things back in. But your compound movements are your bread and butter. So at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Plus, I'm getting enough rest to where I'm mostly recovering from those things. A person who sleeps 10 hours, I'm sleeping probably 10 hours a day right now. A person who sleeps 10 hours a day is going to have way more recovery than a person who sleeps 5 or less hours a day like the average person. See what I'm saying? See what I'm getting at? See, a lot of people hear something crazy, but they don't listen to the back end. So if you've been watching this video this long, I'm giving you the game. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to think outside the box. All the people who you see who are excelling past the average person, they think outside the box. They don't do exactly what's set in stone. And no, we don't do that over here. You know what I'm saying? We do, but there's time and place to up the ante. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is not for beginners. My squat every day that I did, that was not for beginners. That's not even for me. That's just, I had to do something at the time. That's a temporary thing that helped me get back on track. You know what I'm saying? And it worked. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people judge this and judge that. They don't even know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like it worked. Like, if you want something to work, sometimes you can't just do what everybody else is doing. You do what the average person is doing, you're going to get the average results. You're going to get the results the average person gets, which to me is absolutely none. The average person don't even work out when they go to the gym. They talk. They chatty patty. Y'all know that was coming. A lot of people, your best advice, I gave you all the other advice. Your best advice, your only advice is to tell people to shut up in the gym. Dog, listen. That is the best advice. That's the best advice because that's the ultimate advice. Because the average person don't lift. They go in there and they talk. And they talk about other people lifting, or they try to stop somebody else from lifting. The best advice to getting stronger in the gym and lifting more weight is to shut the fuck up and lift the weight. Learn how to do it. Learn proper form. I got many videos teaching that. But knowing it and doing it is two different things. Two different things. And your best teacher is not going to be me or anybody else. Now, that's how you learn. That's how you initially learn. But the rest comes from who? You. Don't forget about you. Don't forget about yours. While you're in there ruining somebody else's workout, don't forget about you. Don't see me in the gym because it's all on the line.